Hello everybody, Hyper Mario Sunshine here. We're back with some more Ace Attorney. In the last episode, well, we basically got bombshell after bombshell, and it seems that the whole case might be deeper than we thought, especially involving Lana Sky, and this case is connected to the SL9 incident, aka the Joe Dark killings. So yeah, we're gonna see what we could do. No meaning for me anymore. What do you mean by anymore? That's who I was last year. What's good it is if I dwell on the past? He's asking me? Ag, why can't you just accept it graciously? Actually, something's been troubling me about this shield. Look, do you notice anything different? Different? Yeah, don't you remember the other shield in the court record? I guess I'd better present the other shield. Okay, so we do have something to show, and that's this image to Edgetworth. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gants' office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors Award. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes. The trophy Mr. Marshall's holding, it's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That's what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind this design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Excuse me. King of Prosecutor's Trophy. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake? Very well. Well, I love the watercoloring. Reminds me of Okami. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd. He claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield. He claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their own conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. That's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. King of Prosecutor's Trophy updated in the court record. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed at Gant's behest, giving it its current form. Alright. February 24th, Prosecutor's Office underground parking lot. Excuse me. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Star! I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness. The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much the past you could dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. The star's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on the SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. Demon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Demon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in cases he handled. Incredible evidence, you mean? Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Mr. Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Lastly, being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gants' powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 incident, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been some reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Alright. Well, Miss Starr, even though with her swinging attitudes, it seems that she has told us something that is much needed. So, let's see if we could go back to, well, Chief Gants' office. February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Oh, you're back! You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files? I'm turning into a regular DJ! You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ! I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in Chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. My office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Guess we could present the updated, Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors trophy. Okay. Were you there at this? Okay. Say, this design's based on an old Chinese parable, right? Yeah, everyone knows that. There was this, dragon. Yeah, that's it. A dragon. He had a thing for shields, see? That's not exactly the version we heard. No, but this one sounds more exciting. Anyway, it gets kind of gory after that. I'll spare you the details. Okay, it's not that. Okay. Ah, what is it then? Maybe we might be missing something. Maybe we present her the picture? Attorneys and prosecutors have no business showing evidence outside of court. It's taboo, especially when the interests of both parties are involved. She really means it. Well, no. Maybe we could present another thing? I don't have anything else to tell you. The only thing I can give you is this poppy seed rice set. Talk about cheap. Eat this and maybe you'll be able to tell black from white in court tomorrow. Okay, so she has nothing else to tell us. Maybe Edgetworth again? Oh wait, maybe it might be the SL9 files. Right, please okay, never mind. There's gotta be something to show him. Oh, come on, this is the... Oh. Chief Gant gave this to you that day, didn't he? He asked you to bring it here from the police department. The chief is a very competent man, but sometimes he does things that don't make any sense. At least it's better than being incompetent and doing things that don't make sense. A certain detective comes to mind. Skips a lot of dialogue, it didn't really reveal anything. No. Badger panel, maybe? No. I'm confused. I might have to skip over, see, to look and see what I need to do next. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing about like crazy since the other day. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Foreshadowing. Don't worry about that for now, what I said. What could we show? Buying it, pal. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be right back and check my notes and see what I have to do, because I feel like I'm missing something. So, we'll be right back, and I'll see what we'll have to do. Alright, so I found out what to do. I completely forgot that. Yeah, we forgot to pick up that paper at Edgeworth's office, so let's get that. I thought that we had to, like, make him go away before we could, see what it is. I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him, I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground! Hold on. First let me see what that girl is crawling around my feet. Even look. What? Letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Edgeworth discarded letter of resignation. He's serious. So, I wonder what happens if we present it to Edgeworth before we present that to Gumshoe. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently, I was so caught up in the smoke I lost sight of the truth. Edgeworth. The others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor. But Mr. Edgeworth, you were only doing your job. I've always made my own decisions about what I can and cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I have any... Okay, so basically it's the thing he said earlier. Alright. We know what to do. Police department and criminal affairs. Alright, Gumshoe, time to get big sad. What's this crumbled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they pushed him this far! Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective.
That's it. I've made up my mind.
But
Here, take my ID card.
we can't do that. If someone found out, they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. Now it's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
What?
So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
Alright, Detective. Thank you. Gumshoe's ID tucked swiftly into pocket. Gumshoe's ID, a police department ID, allows access to areas of the PD open to detectives. Alright, back to the Chief's office we go. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's office. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Back here again. We're in! If anyone finds us out, Detective Gumshoe's a goner.
If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out.
Eek!
Yeah!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost.
Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too.
If you're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket.
Hey, don't do that to my card! I'd hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have to look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
You really do want to get fired, don't you?
Not if we're lucky. Now, come on, let's see what we can find out.
I've got a bad feeling about this. When doesn't Phoenix have a bad feeling about this? Alright. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, that's what I was waiting for. Where I was waiting for Lana on that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gants' office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
That's a strange reason to leave it there.
He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
I see. So, ever since Lana left, no one has ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant, and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only come here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think... Ah, you wouldn't be. No! No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on! Not so fast, buddy!
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at all at that.
Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you?
You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet.
There you go, ignoring me again.
Alright, I guess now finally we could examine. This was taken on that day 2 years ago. The day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma.
After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. and went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think?
These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. Small picture on the frame to the left of the shelf. This is when Lana and I went to that theme park. This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here?
No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They were the stuff of legends are made of.
Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime?
Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside.
This is the 15th floor.
I know, I was just saying.
Saying what?
Ever since making Detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that.
Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. So long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that!
The Chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department.
It's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th floor of an entire different building.
When a detective screws up, the Chief calls him to his office and makes him listen to the organ for hours.
What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul.
After that, a detective can't hear anything for days except the ringing in their ears.
So it's an instrument of punishment.
Literally.
But aren't the Chief's ears affected?
He never listens to anyone anyway.
That's beside the point. Alright. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and the...
Sure is, pal. The Chief doesn't care for imitations.
First the pipe organ, now this armor? Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You don't mean we're paying for this? That's it! I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay.
Shh! Be careful what you say. Who knows? The Chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak.
I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to back out.
Cut it out! You guys don't know how scary that guy can be.
Wow, look at the size of the Chief Gant's off desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier...
Oh, it's you two!
Chief Gant! Put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence?
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though.
Hey, look at the case name!
Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said I wonder what...
No, about the evidence list. Normally they're twice as long?
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
Half-size list of evidence. This is the list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it! The Chief must be hiding something about the case. It would appear so. Evidence list. List of the SL9 incident was ripped in half, so this is the part. This part is all I've got. Okay, we already did that. We're gonna look a little more into this. Let's see this over here. This safe. This is a safe, isn't it?
Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue.
Okay, if you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I just might know what it is.
Do you know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. I want to try my birthday. Is it? It's...
I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. So we did see a few numbers, but one in particular that we don't know, and it's 7 digits, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Code confirmed, access granted. Bingo! What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was that, pal?
77777777. The final ID card on the record number. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day.
You mean 77777777? That number?
I think you're 1 7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gants' ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Let's take a look.
Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed in there anyway?
Look, it's
a shard from a broken cup.
It somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth.
This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? If this is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now.
A piece of cloth with a handprint on it? And a broken shard from a cup?
They look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't let you just take them. After all, it was my neck on the line here.
Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on! There's gotta be something we can show the detective. Well, we actually do, because it seems that cup is not something that we've seen, but well, something we have seen before. And that handprint show the unstable jar. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember when there were 3 of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days.
It's kind of early to be that nostalgic. Wasn't this the jar of a piece of evidence from that case?
That's right. One of the shards had the SL9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, the fragment we just found?
You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits.
I think we'll leave it now to be.
Look, bud, you don't have to get someone all worked up just to leave him hanging. You're as bad as that girl when I met back when I was 16.
16? That's the same age I am. I wonder what happened. It's hard to imagine Detective Gumshoe in teenage angst. Well, if we don't do it now, then let's at least do it later. Oh, he's probably talking about Angel Star, but like, Angel Star was like, I think 2 years older than him? So she was like a very young detective. Let's see the profiles. I need to check her. 31. Detective Gumshoe. Okay, 30. Yeah, they're 1 year apart. So she would be 17 or maybe like 18. Like, if she's like, has like a few months later, like a year and a few months. Something like that. I don't know. Joe Dark, deceased. I like how it's kind of creepy how his face is just covered, even though we kind of seen it already. And Neil Marshall, deceased. So yeah, it also keeps all the deceased ones, much like how we've had deceased members before. As for the handprint, the one behind the blue badger, so... Okay, never mind. Let's see if this will work. Looming tall, new and improved formula.
You mean this thing can't detect blood traces?
Well, it's not quite the same thing as luminol.
So that's why the lady at the counter had that smirk on her face.
Oh, he got fooled into buying something, so he got scammed. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know what that is. You want to take some fingerprints?
That's a great idea, Detective.
Alright, go to town. Sheesh.
What are you doing? Why are you sticking your hand out like that?
Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Huh?
Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about the cloth we found in the case.
Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor?
Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. And once they've absorbed from the prints, okay, rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Literally me. Alright, let's get this over with. Alright, the clearest one seems to be the middle finger. Mash away! Get the white powder everywhere. Grrrr. It kind of looks like powder on, like a delicious, like, donut. Like, powdered donut. I miss when powdered donuts, like, tasted really good. I don't know why they haven't really hit for me. There we go. We have found one. No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing on here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the fingerprints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints.
Psst! Hey, you! Over here! What's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the Chief's safe?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
Piece of cloth found in Chief Gants' safe. Evidence for something, but what? Bears Emma Sky's prints. Now we'll do the case. Or vase, rather. Okay, we're going through the symbol. Assemble! Here, let me take let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. One last time. Gotta rotate and... There! It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of evidence, or a piece of this jar inside in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But...
Hey guys, get a load of this!
What is it?
This piece you just attached. It's different from the others.
There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood.
I don't get it. Why would the Chief hide this in his safe?
Unstable jar from the SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Blood traces.
Well, was I any help?
Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence.
Now, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Eek! Chief Gant!
We didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out the window and saw a stray dog run right into a bowl. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Now get out! Yes, sir!
We'll be on our way too, then. Wait, you with the one without the spiky hair.
Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You with the spiky hair. You're free to go.
Mr. Wright!
Look, pal. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no! You just had to go sneaking in like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why was she kept eerily silent about it all the time? Well, this time.
Anyway, you listening to me? I'm trying to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. February 24th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. But what you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know I finally figured it out. I know who it is lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name?
Take that!
Wellness guy? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would you try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgetworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgetworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They are pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's all as you summarized. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman, or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can't say that I was given an order that day.
I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body.
You'll find it inside the trunk of Mr. Miles. I was going so perfect all this time. The trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who did murder Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that the murder weapon was inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with the another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife? That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. It seems that I got blood on the victim's shoe as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife? The weapon that used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it? In Edward's exhaust pipe? Right. Then I'd call my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. Bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth did you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh? You mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts must have disappeared. So your phone call had caused the incident in the evidence room? I am afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything.
Goodman's real murder. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago.
Love my videos, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. We appreciate it. Next time on Ace Attorney, we will be concluding the final case in the game. Well, starting to conclude. We will see you guys then.